This dividend ETF could change my entire strategy. Today we're talking about OVL. This is a liquid strategies ETF that pays a high 10% distribution rate and has no NAV erosion. Now, what I love about this fund is a recent change they made to increase their distribution rate, still avoid NAV erosion, and they're actually outperforming the S&P 500, which is very difficult for income investors to do. If you're new here, my name is Spencer, and I talk all about ETFs, primarily focusing on income, because I absolutely love dividends and growing my dividend snowball. Now, these videos are super fun for me to make, so if you're interested in watching and following along and seeing what other ETFs I like to invest with and seeing different breakdowns on ETFs, don't forget to like the video and to subscribe. I've been doing this for over 3-4 years now, and my portfolio has seen some amazing growth and some even better dividend income. Now we're going to dive into OVL and see if this ETF is right for you. This ETF combines a lot of things, and it makes me really excited because it gives you a separate strategy and more upside potential. But I want to break down the risks as well. With OVL and some of the other overlay shares ETFs, I want to break down exactly why there is more risk involved. And it comes down to the movement upward or the movement downward, because JEPI, SPYI, GPIX, they're using covered calls. OVL is going to sell puts and buy protective puts underneath of them, which is called a put credit spread. And what is interesting about this strategy is it gives you a lot more upside potential. And we've been in a really good market since OVL launched. And so the performance has been really, really amazing. The downside, though, is in a pullback or in a down market, long-term, OVL would underperform a lot of those other names. And what I think is so interesting about this is you're able to use it to diversify. This is by no means a hedge position. It's quite the opposite. This is your explosive, could perform super well and outperform everything else in a good market. Do you think we're in a good market? Do you think we will continue to be in a good market? That comes down to your own estimates, to what you believe is going to happen in the stock market over the next however long you want to hold the ETF for. So what's great with this one is you get consistent growth, you get a very solid distribution rate, but there are, again, those risks, that need to be discussed. Now, when we scroll down also, the expense ratio is a bit high, 0.79%. Not the worst, not as bad as some of the weekly dividend ETFs, but it is pretty high compared to a lot of, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Neos. So it's something to think about. Net assets is not big, but not small, 244.5 million. This is probably a little bit old. No, data as of May 12, 2026. So there you go. That's just the basics of how this fund works. Now I'm going to show you right here. They already have everything plugged in. It's the S&P 500 versus OVL, and this is including distributions, and it's probably including drip, I would imagine. So over time, you can see they trade pretty closely, but unlike most charts when you have income versus growth, OVL is actually outperforming. And that is absolutely outstanding. And what it really comes down to is OVL outperforms, of course, when the markets are hot, but on these dips, you can see it pulls back a lot. And again, those are the risks that correspond with this fund. So you can go through, you can look at, of course, holdings and whatnot, and it's primarily VU, and they're going to write those options, and then you can go through and see the distributions, which I will show in just a minute as well on a chart, so you can really see how the distributions have kind of shifted. But OVL overall, everybody is talking about this because of the performance, and I'm curious what you guys think. So before we get into the next segment of the video, before we start comparing this to other ETFs, let me know what you think about it and if you hold it down below. The dividend history is a key component because whether you're living off of this income, you're reinvesting and relying on compounding, you want to make sure your dividends are consistent. Now, one thing that OVL did recently was quite fantastic. So with this new dividend jump where they're paying out more, we can actually see they were paying out quarterly, and it would range from 37 to 39 to 40 cents. Nothing too crazy. Now that they're paying out monthly, they're paying out actually more, 47 cents, 47, 44, and 47. And a lot of people might wonder, how does that work? Normally, when you switch from quarterly to monthly, the dividend amounts are going to drop because now they're going to pay them monthly, but it will be the same amount typically by the end of the quarter. Well, OVL increased the distribution rate. And the way they did this is very simple. They started writing options on more of the portfolio. And that means they're able to generate more premiums, which is really, really interesting. It seems like they are shifting this ETF, and a lot of their ETFs, I should say, to target a higher distribution rate, consistent, no NAV erosion, as long, again, as things stay up. Again, if the markets were to pull back, OVL would probably be one of the worst performers during that time span. The beauty of this, the S&P has been absolutely ripping. So that's why OVL has been able to perform like it has. So I think this was a very intelligent move by Liquid Shares. And I would love to see more of their stuff. I will definitely have to be talking about more of their ETFs, but I want to showcase the power behind these ETFs even before this change happened, because I think if you're interested in passive income, this may be one of the best options to look at on the market today. I said liquid shares. It's liquid strategies. Have to correct myself, of course. Now, you already saw this chart, but I wanted to pull it up on stock analysis. And again, they're still doing a discount. You get a free month and a discount using my code that's going to be in the video description down below. So check it out, and we can see SPY versus OVL. In the last year, OVL is up 34.54% versus SPY's 28.8%. And I mean, there's nothing more to it. That is phenomenal. There is an ongoing argument, and I don't know if you guys, maybe you're not online as much as I am, and I probably should be online less, but between income and growth ETF and overall stocks, right? People seem to love to bash one another. Oh, you're investing for growth. That's lame. You have no income. Oh, you're investing for income. You're capped. You're not going to have as good of returns, and back and forth. OVL, like a few other key ETFs, kind of destroys that argument, because you can have the growth and the income. So there's no more 4% rule where you have to retire and pull certain amounts out of your portfolio every single year. You can retire and let your portfolio even continue to grow at the same time and still live off of. But what I want to do is, let's see, we're looking at total return percentage. I want to see, I mean, we can see stock price. I just want to showcase exactly if this thing is falling in price. It's not. So we can see stock price in the last year went from 45, 46 up to where it's at now at 57. It's probably not the best way to look at it, but overall, really, really interesting how they're able to do this. So we can see if you go to just price change, it looks like we are up 27%. This must be factoring in, this must be total return as well. No. So the dividend, that 10% that they're now targeting, it was in the more 3 to 4% range before, I believe. So we could see more disparity. We'll probably see less price increase from OVL, still some because of the strategy, but more focused in on that distribution level, which I think is absolutely amazing. But if you don't believe me, let's zoom out a little bit. If we go to the 3-year, we see OVL actually outperforming SPY by 10%, almost 10% exactly. If you go to the 5-year, we actually see it up still a little bit less than that. So there are periods of time where SPY does better, like we talked about during some pullbacks. And here during 2022, 2023, SPY was simply performing a little bit better. And then on these last runs, OVL has kind of taken off. But SPY and OVL, although they're similar, are different functions. They have different strategies behind them. SPY is growth and OVL is income. Let's see how OVL compares to some of the other big names in the income space when it comes to S&P 500 funds. This is very, very, very interesting. We've had so many new ETFs launching over the last couple of months. I mean, we have ROCY and ROCQ, which are by JP Morgan, but I'm throwing JEPI in here instead because although it's probably going to be a lower yielder, in fact it is, it has more trading history. So in the last, let's see when it started, December of 2023, we can actually see that OVL has outperformed nearly the entire time. You heard me right, the entire time. We have OVL, we have SPYI, we have ISPY, GPIX, and JEPI. These are all S&P 500 ETFs. And what really blows my mind, I mean, these are all great performances, but OVL has performed substantially better than a lot of these other ones. And if we zoom out to the 3-year, we can get rid of, like, let's see, ISPY hasn't been trading for quite as long. So if we remove that, we can still see even GPIX, which has been running recently, is underperforming OVL on the 3-year chart. This is just wild. But to note here, we had OVL at a high in February of 2025 before that crazy dip that we saw. It was up, it was $44. It fell all the way off to 36, whereas a lot of these others fell from 44 to 38, 39. OVL did take more of a dip. And so who is this fund for? Key question. Who would want this ETF? Someone that is okay with a little bit more risk, as long as, I should say only more risk if you believe in a pullback is coming, if you believe in some crazy downside potential, which there always is. I never like to try to predict things. I like to set myself up to make more money no matter what the market is doing. But OVL is a phenomenal option. And what I want to showcase now is we can also look at the other funds by liquid shares, by liquid strategies. I did it again. And let's see if there's any more that kind of entice you like they entice me. Let's take a look at some of the other liquid strategies ETFs that are similar to OVL. Starting off, we have OVS, which is the Overlay Shares Small Cap Equity ETF. And so US small blend, probably closer to something like IWMI by NEOS. But what's interesting is they're targeting the S&P 600, which is 600 small cap stocks, but the difference between the Russell 2000 and the S&P 600 is the S&P 600 wants positive earnings. So it does give you even a different style of category. And then you also have OVF, which is the Overlay Shares Foreign Equity ETF targeting foreign markets. And so if you guys want full breakdowns on those ETFs, let me know. But I wanted to showcase that liquid strategies, they're doing really well. Some of these funds, they have different ones as well. I mean, they have their hedged, they have core bond, they have short-term municipal, and so on. But they do have different strategies and different options that you can utilize. So if you're looking again for another S&P fund, or maybe a S&P 600 fund, or something that's foreign equity, probably closer to IDVO, check these things out. There's a lot of options, and let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If you want a video on OVS or OVF, let me know. And if you're interested in joining my private circle group where we talk about investing, living off of dividends, and so much more, check that link out in the video description as well. And I hope to see you in the next one.